Hi everybody, we're going to do a few videos on my vintage Star Wars figure collection. I'm going to break these down into a few videos. We're going to start off with the Star Wars shelf, and then we'll move on to The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then some various other miscellaneous bits. But for this video we're just going to cover the original Star Wars. So important thing to note with my toy collection is that the majority of it is from when I was a kid. I was 5 years old in 1977 when Star Wars came out, and pretty much from that age started collecting, and I'll try and point out the new additions. It all started with this guy here, with Sandpeople, and this is the very first figure that I ever got. This is the actual one, so most of these are from my childhood. And I remember being in the model shop in Harrow with my grandmother, and she said I could choose a toy, and this was what I chose. That is a replacement gaffy stick, unfortunately. The original one got lost some time back. He's a bit beaten up. The cape has been sellotaped when I was a kid, because it was your first figure always gets played with to merry hell, but I've never cleaned it. The only new piece is the gaffy stick, but I have an incredible fondness for this figure. I have some others in another collection. As you can see at the back there, I've got that is a reproduction carded figure. The price is on the original. I'd like to get an original carded Palitoy version, but it's silly money. But that's okay, just for a bit of nostalgia purposes. The Darth Vader is original from my childhood, as is the Chewbacca, as is the Stormtrooper, the R2-D2, who's very beaten up. You can see the state of his labels. The C-3PO, that's not from my childhood. It is that is the original version with the non-removable limbs, but I bought that later. The rest of these are from my childhood. That Death Star droid has been spray painted several times. He's a real beater. I think I got that in a swap with a school chum at the time. Actually, these two are replacements, the R5-D4 and the Power Droid. They're not from my childhood, and the Power Droid has actually got his original antenna in place, which is nice. And a real beauty to add to the collection is this original blue Snaggletooth. That was actually a present from my wife some years back. Price on those has gone absolutely nuts, and top marks to my wife for finding a really good example of the blue Snaggletooth. You can find them in all sorts of states of condition. That was a really good one. She sneakily picked that up at a Star Wars fair many years ago. The Luke Skywalker is a new addition, and it's actually a really clean example as well. That is a reproduction lightsaber, but it's that was one of the best versions of the Luke farm boy that I could ever find. Really nice. I never had that figure when I was a kid. Empire Strikes Back was really where I got into buying more substantial numbers as a kid. The Millennium Falcon is from my original childhood. There was a neighbour of mine who had a Star Wars collection. He was a bit older. When he grew up, he started selling off his bits, so I was probably about 9 or 10 years old when I got that. It is quite yellowed, it's quite beaten up, it's been played, but it is complete. It has got the training ball and the string and everything else is in there. It's complete. Nothing missing apart from a few stickers. So there we are. That is the Star Wars shelf. Next video we'll have a look at The Empire Strikes Back. Thanks for watching.